Now, let's have a look at Meghan Markle being weird and inauthentic.
She's been mocked at Paris Fashion Week.
A duchess showing up at Fashion Week is supposed to spark chaos, excitement, and cameras going wild. But at the Balenciaga front row, the loudest thing wasn't applause. It was whispers. And those whispers carried something heavier than bad reviews. Something that felt uncomfortable and tense from the start. From the outside, it looked like the perfect comeback moment for Meghan Markle. Flashes popping, lights reflecting off her black heels, the kind of entrance editors dream about putting on a cover. But people inside the room were telling a totally different story, and the contrast was impossible to ignore. Stylist later said, when Meghan walked in, the mood instantly shifted cold. No smiles, no cheek kisses, no friendly energy at all. One whispered, it felt like eyes were just watching her and judging, not welcoming her.
That was awkward. Let's have another look at it.
It didn't feel like an icon arriving. It felt like suspicion hanging in the air. And in Paris, silence can speak louder than screaming crowds. Photographers still took pictures, but even they seemed low energy about it, almost bored. Editors who usually rush celebrities for selfies kept their distance, like nobody wanted to be caught too close. One insider said the body language said everything. People were cautious, calculating, and careful about proximity. In an industry built on being seen together, Meghan suddenly looked untouchable. Not because of headlines or drama, but because of something way more basic and awkward. Backstage chatter started spreading that her presence was difficult, and not because of attitude but because of her aura, or more specifically her smell. Several people repeated similar claims, which made the rumor grow fast. One person described it as cheap perfume laid over stress. While another whispered, the glam team looked drained, spraying everything they could to fix it. Someone joked, but you can't fix that. And whether it was exaggeration or truth, the gossip exploded across the room before the night even ended. By then, nobody was talking about the runway looks anymore. They were talking about Meghan. In Paris, scandal can fade. Confidence can even be admired. But hygiene rumors, that's social exile territory, and the fashion crowd is brutal about that kind of thing. And if those whispers were harsh, the outfit detail hit even harder, because in fashion, clothes are status signals. Insiders claimed her pieces weren't gifted couture, but borrowed samples, tags still attached, no custom tailoring, nothing exclusive. That's a quiet but sharp message. She wasn't fully inside the elite circle. Top celebrities usually get designer pieces for free because brands want their energy and influence connected to them. But insiders suggested Meghan's aura didn't qualify this time, meaning everything had to be returned after the show. One stylist even whispered Balenciaga didn't crown her. They tolerated her, and that comment spread fast. Publicly, Meghan kept her chin up, smiling like she owned the city, projecting confidence for the cameras. But people behind the scenes insisted Paris wasn't buying it, saying the glamorous Duchess image didn't match what they were seeing backstage. Instead of being styled like royalty, she looked more like a placeholder. And in fashion, that's one of the loudest rejections possible. The contrast couldn't have been clearer. Meghan wanted a rebirth moment, but Paris delivered a reality check instead.
I mean, yeah, the children were posed with teddy bears dressed in bondage-style gear.
What?
It was predatory, and Meghan Markle is accepting an award as Humanitarian of the Year on Thursday for protecting children online. She shouldn't be promoting a brand accused of predatory.
And the whispers didn't stop inside the venue, because when she left, another rumor started circulating. This time darker, stranger, and way more emotional. After the show, people expected her car to disappear quietly into the night, but the story took a chilling turn. Word spread that she drove through the Alma Tunnel, the same place where Princess Diana lost her life. At first, some called it coincidence, but as one fashion journalist said, in this city, nothing is coincidence. Her own team quickly pushed back, saying Meghan Markle didn't know where she was, that she was unaware of the location's history, and that the drive was simply the fastest route back to her hotel. But for people who have followed her story for years, that explanation sounded empty, almost unbelievable. Former friends had said she studied Princess Diana's funeral again and again, replaying the footage like homework, while others remembered how deeply she read royal biographies with details highlighted and memeized. So, the big question exploded everywhere. How could she not know? One commentator asked, "This is a woman who knows her symbols. That tunnel is the most loaded symbol of all." Online communities picked it up instantly, and the internet moved fast like it always does when drama hits. TikTok edits started appearing within hours.
How are you protecting children when you are promoting a brand that was accused of inappropriate behavior towards them?
Now, look, it's not being received well, certainly not as well as maybe she would have hoped, with some people labeling it a Zoolander war.
Showing Meghan's car driving through the Alma tunnel side by side with clips of Diana's final moments, all set to haunting music that made the comparison feel even heavier. On Twitter, hashtags trended hard, with some people calling her bold, while others called it manipulative. One user wrote, "It's one thing to admire Diana. It's another to cosplay her tragedy." That line spread everywhere, turning skepticism into full-blown outrage mixed with disbelief. The exact kind of viral reaction that no PR team can control. For Paris, the story hit like an emotional shockwave. The city had adored Diana, and for many locals, her memory still feels sacred, almost untouchable. The Alma isn't just a random tunnel there. It's a place tied to grief, history, and respect. Local tabloids ran headlines questioning motives, while international outlets carefully speculated about whether the drive could have been staged, choosing their words cautiously, but clearly raising doubts. Some reports hinted the moment might not have been accidental at all. One paper wrote, "Careful not to accuse, but unwilling to dismiss." And that gray area only made the situation more explosive. Behind the scenes, fashion insiders began connecting dots, whispering about the bigger strategy and what they believed was really happening. Why risk symbolism this heavy? Why keep linking yourself to Diana's legacy again and again?
She went round Paris in this car. She had her heels kicked up, and you could see that. A lot of people criticized her because she went near the tunnel where Diana was tragically killed. I'm not sure that was deliberate, but it's a lot of people criticized.
One editor reportedly told colleagues, "It's not branding, it's obsession." To them, the Paris trip wasn't about fashion headlines. It was about rewriting the Diana narrative, one carefully timed moment at a time. But the irony hit hard because instead of admiration, the comparison only reminded people of the gap she could never close. Meanwhile, longtime Diana supporters reacted emotionally with comment sections filling up fast. Some posts were blunt. Diana was loved. Meghan is pretending, while others pointed directly at Prince Harry asking why he would accept something that looked like a performance tied to such a painful memory. One viral post said, "If Harry cries when he talks about that tunnel, how could she treat it like a photo op?" And that message gained thousands of likes in hours.
Look, this is the same woman that tells us she's Diana 2.0. Shouldn't she be aware of something like this?
By the end of Fashion Week, Meghan's Paris appearance wasn't about couture anymore. It was about a car ride, a tunnel, and the shadow of a princess whose legacy still dominates public emotion. With every headline and every whisper, tension kept building. Because the next revelation wasn't about rumors or speculation at all. It was about hypocrisy hiding in plain sight. For years, Meghan had positioned herself as someone targeted by harsh media coverage, saying the press hunted her and twisted her story, warning that history was repeating itself with Harry watching tragedy unfold again. She argued cameras could destroy her the way they destroyed Diana. But Paris suddenly brought attention back to a detail many people had forgotten. The complicated truth about who actually profited from Diana's final moments. While British tabloids took most of the public blame, insiders started reminding people of a detail that felt way more uncomfortable once you looked closer. The most haunting images from Princess Diana's final hours were not sold by Fleet Street papers. They were purchased, aired, and broadcast by an American network, CBS. And yes, that's the exact same network that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle later chose for their explosive primetime interview, which made commentators instantly point out the contradiction. How do you condemn the press for exploiting tragedy? One media analyst asked, and then give exclusives to the very network that profited from it. That question spread fast because it hit a nerve people couldn't ignore. Reports even suggested some people in Harry's own circle questioned the decision at the time, with friends allegedly warning him that sitting down with CBS could reopen painful history and old wounds. But Meghan reportedly pushed forward anyway. And when Oprah Winfrey's cameras started rolling, the network that once turned Diana's end into massive ratings now turned Harry and Meghan's grievances into a global television spectacle.